and practicing specifically, in which case Roos makes a lot of sense. Because I think Roos is, alongside Marlians, one of the most vicious and definitely what feels like the most flexible Civ right now. So we'll see if it comes out late in the series. We don't have to worry about it for an opener, though. We hop into regions for French versus Chinese. Game number 1 between B and Beasty.
Yeah, and we've talked about this map a few times already. And a really important thing to note, I think, is Beastie's map spawn is vastly different from other spawns we've seen. So he's got forward wood this time, but look at that. He's got just such a juicy Barbican on the right there. Hunt and gold gonna be secured, even marginally protecting another gold mine. Then he could just maybe wall off that left side. He's got a very defendable map against French, which is super important for this matchup. If you get a good Barbican against French, it can be so hard to attack. And we kind of saw that in the last game where Demu had a really good position against Recon, but a lot of that felt like just like the defense didn't really come together on Highview for Recon there, whereas I think Beastie's going to be able to put something together special here, and we see B even going out to a bunch of Hunt.
And you know,
Sorry, that's just a funny noise you made. Oh,
that's
okay.
me. I mean, I'm play-by-play by career. My job is to make funny noises. Woo! Ah!
He did this build against his opponent earlier today. I literally forget the names. It's just I'm like a rabbit. I just forget. Puppy. He did this build against Puppy where he went to Hunt early, right? And it didn't super pan out against Roos. I don't want to spoil too much, but the opening didn't pan out right.
I think
so. We'll see.
In this matchup, though, it's more free, right? It's Chinese.
Right.
What are they going to do? Build a spear and run over? I would expect Beastie to play defensive, especially if you actually look at his opening position. Like, it looks really hard to defend, but the way the train lines were spawned, you can just kind of wall around them in a kind of efficient, cost-wise way if you want to fully encapsulate your base.
Yeah, it's curious to see how this will pan out. I mean, even the berries are on the back here for Beastie. Like obviously against Knights, it's not the biggest deal to just loop around the back, but it does matter, right? Psychologically, as B, you're looking to be aggressive maybe against Beastie's China, and just unable to like see the openings. It's gonna feel bad potentially. But we'll see. I mean, maybe even he Barbicans the left. No, it's definitely got to be on the Hunt, right?
Like, do you
or
just
go
Barbican
the stone?
Imagine you just Barbican the berries. Like, you just really go. Nah, he's not gonna do it. Like the problem I'm looking at this is like the boars aren't in a great position for like a Barbican play. If they were near the berries, I think maybe you gamble on that. But instead, he's going to condense himself. I still wouldn't be surprised if by 10 minutes we've seen him fully wall himself in. It just feels like this isn't really a matchup you want to contest with in the feudal age. You probably want to go later.
I think it's important to note how B is playing this at this stage to see how early he can get a knight out, because he's not going to deny anything under the Barbican, but that first knight could have a lot of impact, but he's getting wheelbarrow right now with only 3 on gold, so he's rushing up the School of Cavalry with 5 vills, but he's not even going to be able to afford a knight right away, which makes you wonder, why do you rush it with 5 vills, right? Like, if you can't spend it right away, but maybe he'll cancel wheelbarrow? No.
It's dear. It might be deceptive, right? Like, but the gold is the issue. Like, the food, I'm not worried about, but I agree on the gold. Like, it's only 3 people.
That's what I mean, the gold. Yeah, you can't afford the knight right away. I mean, he'll get it. I guess the deer, it depends on how much food those 5 vills are holding.
No, like, you're fine. Like I said, you're fine, because it is dear, right? You're always going to be fine as you can see on the numbers, but it's like, I agree on the gold. There's going to be probably about 10 seconds of wasted time. There we go. Yeah,
okay, that was actually way cleaner than I thought.
Yeah, 4 or 5 seconds, I think. Yeah.
Ignore everything I said. That was stupid. That was way cleaner than I imagined. That was dumb. That worked just perfectly.
It's okay. We're keeping the pattern. I mean, like, it's nice little optimal plays by B. And by the way, this is one big note. It's always been my favorite way to do this on the opening. When you're playing French, wheelbarrow should be being teched up as you're teching up. I think, like, there's always been kind of like this deviation. Some people prefer to do it after a tech up for the fastest possible night timing. I think this is like the perfect balance, right? It makes sure that your eco is efficient quite early, but also ensures that you get a night timing that you're able to do something with.
Yeah, and the build order was really clean for B, honestly. Like, it just worked really well there. Like, yeah, super clean stuff so far.
So I'm going to see the... Wait. Are you seeing that? That's an Imperial Academy next to the wait, yeah, sorry, no, I'm looking at the wrong side. I'm an idiot. Ignore me.
Huh?
Ignore me. Orange and yellow. Why did we let them have orange and yellow? My brain's having a weird day. So Imperial Academy, Song Dynasty activated early. Much earlier than the last series we just saw. Happy? Sad? Give us your feelings.
Happy. Song is super strong, and I think people sometimes sleep on how good the Imperial Academy is as a landmark, right? The Barbican kind of gets all the credit for being the super strong defensive landmark, but the Imperial Academy is just such insane value. Like I feel like it's a little OP sometimes, right? Like if you consider BC just being cute there. But yeah, if you consider the like the returns on this landmark, right? Like if you can get an extra official out, that's you didn't title the TC, right? So then that's like another 30 resources per minute, right? But then on top of that, it's doubling your taxes, which is like kind of hard to like quantify. So it's just such a strong landmark, man. I don't know. I'm going on a tangent here, but that's why I like songs so much. Is both of the landmarks are super powerful, right? And on top of that, you get a TC bonus. Like, it just feels so good.
That was really well played there by B. He got close enough that he could turn around. There was no brace, so Beasty is just like taking bad trades. He got blocked on that wall. Both those did get denied, so that was full expenditure on the Palisade. And he did mess with the deer spawns a little bit. It's these small details from B that I love to see. Like, he has to do this as well, right? Like, you need to find any frustration you can apply to the Chinese eco to stop it from just swelling.
Yeah, you have to be hyper efficient here in this aggression because you're kind of on a clock to deal damage or to hit a timing of your own. And to be once again playing very open. We saw him do this a lot in the last series he played. So counterattacks could be lethal, but so far he's played very aggressive and effectively, right? So we'll see how B holds or Beasty holds here. Oh man, it's so tough. Beasty versus B. It's like the same. It's the same.
I call it the B&B, mate. It's the B&B.
The B&B, the bread and breakfast.
Yeah. Because it feels homely and warmly. Like, it just feels right to watch these two clash. It's always very interesting to watch. Especially in a game like this, like, you know, B is likely to go all in. Beasty knows he's going to be the total player in this type of situation. And that's another reason why that Song Dynasty being so quick is good. It gives him access to those Chuganu that he's absolutely going to require to hold his base.
Yeah, and the berries are going to be under pressure, but again, that is in the back here.
Oh
and
my god, what
jank
is
stuff happening with the walls.
Wait, why is there a villager here from B? Was he trying to drop outposts?
No, he's trying to make sure that this wall doesn't go up because this is a super critical damage point. And meanwhile, the knights come looping around the back. The spearmen not really in the position they need to be, and this is messy for Beasty, but he really needs to cut off this direction so that his units, he doesn't have to deal with this loop around the south every time.
I think he done it though. Like, now you get pushed under the Barbican, so if you trickle in troops, you lose them. If you don't trickle in troops, you have to have these delays, which means that your Vanguard force, the ones past the wall, are going to be vulnerable. So this is a great play from Beasty. Needs to be careful with his position on the Chuganu though. Does not have the spears to defend, so that's going to be a costly loss for him.
Could have maybe hopped into the village there to save his life, but
True.
Instead he's going to move forward here with the spearman. Does get decent stabs and pokes in with the spears, so these two knights are going to have to limp away, but...
B still does not have a blacksmith yet. He's floating enough wood for it. Interesting that he still hasn't gone for it though.
Did that village just die to the Barbican?
We don't talk about that. What
I
villager?
want to talk about that. Yeah, thank you, Vodka. I think he just died to the Barbican.
What
else
the
could have
villager?
killed it? Maybe like an archer?
Oh man, that was the villager on the front line, right? Yeah. So I think he
Yeah.
walked from the right side. That's unfortunate. If that was a new villager, he would never have died to that.
Yeah, I mean, super unfortunate. Blacksmith now coming down, like you mentioned before, so the attack upgrade going to come in for free, which is always feels good on French. You know, the Archer Mass looking good for Beasty. He's got 10 Jugnu soon on the field, and a lot of the knights are very hurt, right?
Do you know what the crazy part is? Like, Beasty hasn't walled the left side at all, and I'm like 90% sure B doesn't know. And that's why he's now trying to go through the walls, right? Like, it makes sense for him efficiently getting to the enemy base, but I don't think he even knows to check the left side of this base.
Ooh, and a couple of free pickups here.
He hasn't got undermesh. He's going to lose so many units here. Good lord.
Wow, that was the Jugnu damage. And did he kill another Vill?
Guys, come. But
No, it's one.
please.
It's still just one.
Okay, thank
It's still
God.
just one.
It's camouflage.
The Vill is half health. The Vill is half health. But that archer from Beasty was sitting there looking for the kill.
He might just... He's going to dive it. This
Yeah, I
many
think he has
chicken.
vision here. Yeah, no, he just kills this Vil. BC, B gonna back up here. I'm gonna get this mixed up every time. Oh my gosh.
Why don't you just call orange and yellow? Is that easy for you?
No, that's much harder.
Okay, how about...
We'll be fine. I'll get used to it.
And Beasty. There you go.
Oh, because that's what a bee does?
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Call them by their noises, so it'll be bzzz and rar.
I think bees. I think beasts don't make rar. They go like.
No.
That's a perma.
A
That's
beast.
what they say.
A beast.
Yeah, a beast goes like perma, right?
Sake.
And then that's it.
Your age
And
is
then they're
showing.
done?
Winston, your age is showing.
I'm not raging. I'm just laughing. He says perma all the time. I think that's funny. I love that joke. It never gets old for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm a simple-minded man, but
I mean,
I don't know.
You just need to make a real like beast noise, like. There you go.
No, we have a beast noise. It's
feel horrified
well
people.
documented.
Well, Beastie's turtling is definitely well documented, and it is finally being
man.
completed. He's building the wall now, and I mean, you've got a few troops through there, but I don't see B getting in the next minute or two, right? I feel like this is where you get blocked out.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of Jugnu though, and a lot of those archers going down earlier means that B kind of just has to like give up map control wherever these Jugnus are, right? The repeaters are going to be just way too good in these low numbers. Still, he did pick up Iron Undermesh, so important tech.
I mean, I'm just still focused on how likely it is you're going to be banned when you check BC stream next.
It's whatever.
I'm a
I don't type
developer.
in
He
Twitch
needs me
chat.
more than I need him.
I don't type in Twitch chats much. You know, it's not my thing. So I don't care if I'm banned. That's not asking for, by the way. I do every now and then, sometimes.
Sounds like it. Clip it and ship it.
No, don't say it. That's a permit.
D is...
Okay, focus.
He's still
We
got
got a
these
game.
knights in. Yeah, like...
Oh, but it's such a bad engagement.
God, I just...
Guess he killed the Vil, which means this is really annoying to fix.
I mean, is it that annoying? Like, yeah, you can idle a villager, but you're ahead. I feel like you're pretty confident in this. By the way, another thing to highlight is, like, look at Beastie's berry patch, the 3 villages near there. It almost just seems like he's trying to be optimal with the idle time, but it's actually great to protect the underbelly. He has all these garrison points where he was most exposed.
And now we see that second TC. What a cheeky spot. We brought this up when we were talking about this map a long time ago, right? I say a long time ago. This morning.
It's been a long time, guys.
Yeah, it's been a long day already. No, but and we still have another set after this, right? Oh my gosh, what a great day to be casting on EGC TV. Yeah, no, the thing I was saying is we were talking about how B in the first series he played today. We were talking about, oh yeah, maybe he has some like crazy stuff planned where like he puts like a random TC out on the map somewhere, like on the berries. Do you think it's weird that he put it on the berries and not on the deer?
No.
Like, why?
So mathematically, there's more berries, there's more food in that corner than there is in the deer corner, right? On top of that...
Is it that much better? I don't know how many there are
so
on each
it's
side.
250 per berry. That's like give an average of 6 pack, but there's going to be a few 8 there. So like that's 1,500 per patch. Whereas the deer is like, is it 4 deer or is it 3? If it's 4 deer, then you've got 1,400 per patch. So already like on a per basis, it's better. Right, it's free, so it's even worse. So there's only 1,050 food here. So in total, you've got just over 4k food there. Meanwhile, in the other corner, as you can see, you've got 6 berry patches. That's quite frankly insane. That's 9k food. At least. There's more, actually.
Okay, that's a big difference, yeah. But man, honestly, B's been playing this really well. Like, he's been putting on the damage onto China here, and the Jugnu mass is growing. This is a difference from Demu versus Recon, who just played this matchup like a minute ago, right? The big difference here is this mash of Jugnus that Beastie's been building into. He just has to hope that it doesn't get wiped, because B has built up quite an army behind this. He's got 11 knights on the field, 3 more in queue, and he's soon going to have 20 archers on the field as well. But will they get there in time? Because this push is coming in. The Ram's coming forward. Oh man, that's a lot of Jugnu.
It's way too many to fight, right? Like this outpost is going to waste a bit of time, Beasties, but realistically, like, this is a problem.
Oh, that was a cool pop.
Spears are going to have to stand their ground. Not many less, but not many archers either. The Chigunu mass, like, even if he loses a bunch of them, the the trade out, the amount of knights that are going to die in return. I don't like B's position here. Going to keep chasing back. More Spinman need to arrive soon, or Beast is going to be in a bit of a pickle. I'm pretty sure he might only be 1 rack still, so B will get for a decent amount of Chuginu. I love the peel back towards the Barbican. That's going to give the hand cannon slip fire. That's going to assist. Definitely a big chunk of the Chuginu gone.
Expensive.
Yeah, on both sides.
That was so bad for B, though, right?
Yeah.
That was really expensive. That was 13 knights down to 7, but 2 of them are super hurt. And he was training during that. Like, oh, that was a lot of losses.
I mean, here's my bigger problem. This is a bit gambly from Beasty. Going in again, right? Like, that's biting off a bit more than you can Chug. The Chuginu mass is much lower. The good first fight I like, though. It looks good of an exchange for B, but what we have to keep in mind behind this is Beasty's eco is better, right? It sounds like it's only a 5-villager lead, but remember, we're talking about IOs as well for the Chinese. He's getting 20% extra resources because he's cooking the books.
Did you see how well Beasty just microed that? I just want to talk about that. There were a couple of moments there. There was a Repairville that got sniped, like, perfectly. There were a couple times where he split his fire and killed, like, 2 or 3 archers all at once without too much overkill. And that's definitely a danger of using this many Jugnus, is you go, oh, I need to focus down the archers. So you take all of your Jugnu and you right-click an archer. And what happens is they all shoot all 3 bolts. And suddenly you have way too much overkill. You lose tons of DPS, but Beasty just played that really well, where his overkill was very limited in this thing. So in that scuffle, those 2 engagements, so really clean from him. Gonna lose 3 vills on the back of this, so I shouldn't have said anything. But you know, B's position a little bit tenuous now. He's doesn't have a vill lead. He's relying on natural food. He doesn't have a farm transition, I believe, behind this. Although he has 1,000... Oh, no, that's wrong player.
Yeah, but Beasty
it's a lot of wood
right?
income. He could be doing it.
Like, Beasty has the farm transition around the granary. So, like, this is where the game gets spooky. The incomes are similar right now, but I think it starts to kind of escalate. Yeah, that's just the beginning, folks. Like, it's going to get much fatter, much more scary. And that's the stage where B is kind of do or die, because Beasty will have enough to match your military force while going Castle Age.
Yeah, this is getting scary. And like you said, B's in this position where Castle Age just really isn't an option for him right now. He has to come up with another army to fight against these Jutnu, but he kind of needs it to be Castle Age, right? Because that's the only way he's going to fight them effectively. So it's just kind of a catch-22 in terms of how you die, right? It's like a pick your poison, choose the bullet.
It truly is.
Roulette, but the gun's fully loaded, right?
Whoa. Wait, wrong piece, wrong piece. Mate, those guys have been working the slim fast. Do you see how thin that gap was?
Yeah, and they made it through right there.
What, you know what
like
that is?
Breakfast bar?
I've been watching Harry Potter recently. That's like somehow they've translated the technology from the bus that can fin itself into the horses.
Oh yeah, the night bus.
The night bus just squishes in, right? Yeah.
The night bus spelt with a K.
There you go. It fits. I mean, literally, it fits through the gap.
Yeah, there's like the little head in the bus, and you can see all the knights just going, oh, no way, man.
You're not feeling good, man. No, I wouldn't either, because those knights are waiting to raid the farms. They're still just parked back there.
Yeah, but he's sending units. But that's less units on the front, and B has a lot here, but fighting into Jugnu and skirmishing against Jugnu just feels terrible. He has to commit to the engagement here, but charging right in with the knights. Several knights could have died there. One might able to back up here. Full upgrades for both players at the blacksmith. Full upgrades at the economy. Wow. And the knights are getting hunted in the back.
Yeah. They are wasting a lot of time, though. But the granaries continue to extend. I mean, I think we're like... If B can't do anything, we're 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes away from trying to just snowball in the game. I mean, they're close to it even without going Castle Age, but if that ever happens, I mean, you just disintegrate. This is all about just the Chuginu veterancy. If that ever happens without Castle Age and Undermesh level 2 for B, I don't see a world in which he can fight.
Yeah, and B's kind of relying on these berries, and berries are the slowest gathering resource in the game. Well, the slowest gathering food source, right? Yes. By a lot. And they're also very inefficient once you get to the final berry in a patch, unless you build more mills around it.
Which you can.
And
the French,
he's just
right?
kind of, yeah, but like it's coming at a huge cost right now. Finally picks up these knights, but like his economy, the vill count even is deceiving. Like look at the food per minute. It's like 300 better for Beasty, and that's after getting raided. So that's going to average out to be a lot better in a moment.
B's in trouble on the deer patch. He finally played for it, and Beasty was waiting for him. BC sent out units ahead of time over to the left side of the map, so now B, like, he needs this backup resource. Sure, he's going to clean up the initial spears, but now you know, right? Now BC knows the weak point you have, that you're running out of food where you're safest on the east side.
Yeah, and that army, Beasty is legitimately popped. He's popped. He's popped. It's 200.
In Feudal Age, as Chinese, 20 minutes in the game.
You could argue he should be castle
He has
because he's got 2,000 gold. Yeah, he could just buy his way up, but Beasty is Bing chilling right now.
I mean, keep him with the theme. He's Gringotts, right? Like, I mean, this guy is a greedy goblin. Bloody hell.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, now all the economy going to be idle here, and Beasty wants to trade, right? He wants to trade out his army. Or maybe he wants to save it for castle timing. But, like, he could just trade out his army. Oh, could potentially be a big fight.
I don't see an easy way for B to take it. It feels like you need double his 90 knights. I mean, just look at the cost of him. He kills one Shuganu and loses 5 archers.
Jeez, that's a good trade. And he's got the Jugnu count up to the point where, like, that outpost could also just die to the Jugnu.
And what does B do? He cuts off a small group of reinforcements, the only thing he can do. But that means that he's not taking the main fight with his full force. Just trying to poke and prod the beast.
And we're about to get to Beasty's scariest form.
Look at the time.
With China, once he has a couple Bs, his micro is so good. So we're going to have to deal with that soon for B. Poor guy. I feel bad for him soon. He's got a full army in feudal. Going full feudalist French should feel really good. But in this case, it just feels like it's a little too late as Beasty hits Castle Age.
The tech up,
B's nowhere even close to the tech up.
I mean, that was ridiculous. That bar filled up quicker than one in a pub when you say, I'm buying drinks for a round. That was ridiculous. I don't know what you do now. I mean, the Chuganu upgrade's coming through. We mentioned this is the key point. I think it's going to force a fight that might just force a GG out of B.
One of the Knights did break through on the right, though, so they could potentially make their way down to the granaries and do some damage, but the army is coming down to swoop in, so if B stays, he would just lose his units. And now...
He's supervising, Winston. Like, the window isn't even there for B. This is the ridiculous power of the Chinese, the supervision on the tech ups.
Beastie still popped. Oh, the gold in the middle. Oh, don't look. Don't avert your eyes.
No, look at it. Zoom in on it. Witness this. Accept this.
War crimes aren't healthy. Okay, they all live. See, that's why you look away in case it's bad, but it was fine.
Do you
here.
wish that do you feel like you're living right now? I don't. If I was French here, I wouldn't feel alive. I'd be numb. No home to
he's
come
gonna
home
get
to.
housed.
Oh,
he's getting housed. Although, to be fair, B is at 170 pop. So, like, if he has a big fight with the Knights, maybe it could work. But the Goldville's gonna get pressured again.
This wraparound, this is the problem. B's. It's almost like he's trying to threaten a fight he never wants to take. But he's going to force to either way. Chuganu stand their ground. Spearman, move past it. Nightmass has to engage. Beastie, pop cap, pop cap, pop cap, pop cap, pop cap. It's just unlimited here.
Oh, the Knights are just melting so fast. Oh my god. They're all dead. They're all dead. Oh my gosh, as Beastie just mops up house here. B tries to go back to gold just to maybe buy some time here, but no chance. The Knights cleaned up, and now feudal archers against very well upgraded vet Jugnu.
He'll get him, but at what cost here? I'm just looking at the military. Like Beastie,
I don't think this is a winning fight for the archers.
I mean, you're right. I think they actually might still lose this.
I think they lose this. Beastie has both armor techs.
By the way, this was the best thing that could happen to Beastie. He's been waiting to push Palace Guard, Crossbowman, and Nestabees this whole time. Losing the Chuganu army is exactly what he needed to come over the top.
Okay, this is the third game on it today, or fourth, but I'm completely sold.
Keep
Regions, great map. Regions is a great map.
Yeah.
I love how it forces the action into the middle at the right time. You have 2 gold mines at home, which is enough to, like, play along feudal. But as soon as you get to Castle Age, this middle just, like, matters not way too much, but, like, way too much to ignore. So it forces the players to really interact, and I love this map so far. I'm really loving it. To me, it's like I'm as giddy as I am when I first saw Canals, which became one of my favorite maps as well in Golden League. This is just so awesome.
It's the castle timing as well. Like, castle can win you the game if you get this keep up. This keep is critical every time. You reach a phase in the game where it's going to happen, even if you play that prolonged feudal you talked about. And that's the crazy part. Like, you know, it's got that kind of King of the Hill vibe, but in a way that feels more intuitive, I want to say. You know, like, taking a sacred site is nice, but you have to hold for 10 minutes. right? And you know, there's always resources around, but it feels kind of different because your opponent still has resources safely away from that. Whereas here, it's like if you neglect the center, if you let your opponent get that castle up, you're starved. You know you're on a losing situation there. You have to do something immediately.
Yeah, and look at this. Look at this
Good
granary
God.
switch. He's ready. He's ready for the late game. He's already there. Look at his food. He's got 4K food.
He needs some gold.
It,
Stop taxing the
he's got a
Empire.
lot of ills on gold. It's about to come in the middle. But yeah, like very different situation compared to Demu versus Recon, who just played this matchup, right? Look at the army comp for Beasty. He's able to play into the strengths of the Civ here. He's got the Jugnu, he's got Palace Guards, and he has the Spearmen to deal with the Knights. It's just a much more balanced composition, and you're going to see French struggle a lot more this game against that long term, right? Obviously, when you take fights like the one previously where they all just died to the Jugnu, but
It's the tech advantage.
he has to tap out.
That's it. GG gets called. Beasty will take game one. And I want to say it looked quite comfortable here. B, despite his best efforts to keep turning the screws in the early game, Beasty at every turn seemed to have the answer and the correct reaction to get through to this absurd feudal bulk army that just won him the game about almost 7 minutes before it actually ended.
Well, what's weird about that is it wasn't even that good for him. Like, think about that feudal age. I thought B was playing really well. I thought we were going to get to a mid-game game state where it just worked for B. But I think potentially he may have slightly overcommitted to feudal age. I wonder if he had taken that. So you know when he was like really pressuring the hunt in the back and like doing the shenanigans with the tower and the walls and like trying to keep Beastie open in the back. I think at that stage maybe, just maybe he overcommitted a bit to the feudal age. And if he had just tried to get castle a little earlier and just get like Vet Knight, I wonder how much of a difference we would have seen if he had Vet Knight, maybe a Keep, maybe a Mangonel, right? Against all those units, because trying to like mass all the feudal knights just didn't feel worth it. And there was definitely enough knights there to see a castle age coming in. So I'm wondering if maybe like, because if you look at that, you could say, oh, what could B have done? I'm just trying to think about like from the player's perspective, like what could he have done? Like against that timing from Beastie, I think the only way would have been at some point get that cheeky castle time and try to leverage some new units like a Mangonel or some Vet Knights as next game, KP.
Well, like round of thoughts, like I think like the pivotal moment in the early game that like stopped B from being able to escalate his all-in timing, I think, was not having a blacksmith early enough for the undermesh when he had, you know, like 4 or 5 knights and 9 archers. It just gave the Chiganu good trades, and Beastie leaned into that. And at that stage, the Chiganu matchup, it just turns into a race. If he hits Castle Age first, you're screwed. Like you're bent over a barrel and spanked, and that's exactly what happened this game. But now, well, we
PG-13.
Hey man, like, you know, 13-year-olds can be spanked too, right? Parents still choose to do that to this day. But like the thing to keep in mind is
yikes
that we could get. What do you mean yikes? I mean, like I don't discipline my child like that, but I know a lot of people still do. Sometimes a kid just needs a good slap. No, stop now. Basically, like what we need to say here, guys, is we just saw a win from Beastie. It looked pretty damn good, and now he gets his hands on a Civ that has almost every game we've witnessed been banned. Marlians. This could be the first 2-0 of today.
Ilalu.
Ilalu.
I love the voice lines. Ilalu. I love playing Malians, man. I love the voice lines. I know it's kind of a meme, but I love the Ilalu voice line. Don't take it from me. As we see BC going for a 4, there's just the Strag opening, very standard stuff, and Roos going for the second scout via the... we're already a minute in, yeah. Second scout via the hunting cabin, so normal stuff here. KP, tell me, you said it already a little bit. Do you think it's an oversight from B to just let Malians through, to let Beastie have Malians?
I think it's B trying to solve the problem earlier. Like this is kind of reminiscent. You know me. I've like done Dota 2, like done a bunch of Age of Empires, and the pattern that I've seen over the years is like, especially early phases of tournament, you try to address a problem, something OP, right? Like, you know, there's been patches where, for anyone who knows Dota, it's like IO is OP, but there's teams that will let it through, right? Same with like Age of Empires 4 at the beginning of tournaments. You know, we've seen it in the past where maybe French is on top of the game or Russ on top of the game. People let it through because in the early phases, you try to kind of gamble that you know the solution. You have to have the confidence to believe you know the answer because otherwise you become one-dimensional. You always have to ban Malians. And that makes you a predictable force. We talked about, like, you know, being too predictable before and how it plays to your opponent's strengths. So although it seems weird, I like that B is looking for an answer at an early phase when he can afford to.
I don't know. I think you wait till season 5 to try this.
Well, maybe you should release season 5 quicker, right?
Hey.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa. Yeah, so Beasty loves this, right? Because as Malians, you want the second scout, right? Like you will gladly build another scout from your TC that helps you deny the tool the bounty in the Dark Age, right? But also it lets you secure your early Feudal Age, right? Where you want that scout upgrade anyway. You were going to build this unit a lot as well, so like why not get a little ahead of it, right? So having 2 on the field, it's just going to be so devastating for B. How he's going to react to this, I'm not sure. Looks like it's going to be a very defensive Kremlin. My gosh, I'm legitimately taken aback by how defensive that Kremlin is. Just way in the back of the base, only covering this deer. Hey, a little bit the stone, I guess.
He ain't yoinking the deer today, okay? No, none of this. Like, it seems insane, but what have we said about this map and the limited resources? You're up against Marlians, pro scouts. Like, I don't know how you play the game if you don't get deer. We've already seen that once today, right? Someone got blocked on their deer, and they might as well just call. They felt like they should have just called GG at 10 minutes, right? It seems weird, but when you think of it that way, it makes a lot of sense. I do still think we're going to see pro scouts there.
Yeah, BC no mill just yet. Obviously, with Roos, you need a lot of bounty to do it. That's why in the team game tournament, we saw Prof Scouts a lot. But that's because in team games, you're guaranteed the bounty for it almost, unless your opponents play perfectly. So it's really tricky. I'm not sure either player can really afford.
I'm talking Marlians.
Beasty,
like
maybe.
not yeah, but
Beasty
he'll go
can
for
soon.
it. Yeah. Like I do not. If B goes for like for pro scouts, I don't know how I feel about it. Like we don't see any more from Roos, especially in a Mali matchup. You can't do it.
PC build. Ooh, I don't know. I guess you kind of have to here.
I mean, like, what else do you do, right? Like, he's probably going to try to drop a TC on the second deer patch. But there's an awkward timing to this because, like, once level 2 scouts come in, like, 2 of them can actually just beat you when you go for that deer stack with the TC. I'm expecting.
Yeah, the warrior scouts are scary, and it's on the way. Yeah, it looks like he's backering for Prof Scouts pretty soon. Still not with the mill, so not going to be too super fast, but it'll be here soon.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the Mantic Quarry. Like, this was such a big innovation in the builds. Like, for a very long time, we saw people paranoid against aggro civs just dropping the defensive landmark instead, and it just felt irrelevant in most games. Like, there was a lot of games where maybe an outpost would do the same. Obviously, in this matchup, there isn't really an early time in the Roos player has to force you to go for a defensive landmark. So getting Mansa just guarantees 2 extra villages in your economy.
Yeah, now we have the scout numbers going up for Beasty, right?
It begins.
Manticore behind it, of course, and here's the Prof Scouts click. So here it goes, KP. Nice. It's happening. It's happening. I feel like I don't know. Never mind. I was gonna make a really long. Never mind.
Are you Michael Scott today? Is that what's happening here?
I was gonna make an offense reference, but I was realizing just do the whole setup. It would be really long. So take it away. Take it away.
I mean, one big issue I'm seeing with this game for B is because of the way he put his Kremlin, he might be the one declaring bankruptcy because like he doesn't have any gold, right? So this TC has to go up. It's the only way that he's gonna have access to a vital resource. These warrior scouts are not gonna make it easy. Nice trap there though, B. Gets one of them locked.
Oh.
Wait, what? Guys!
You let him out.
Come on! Bruh!
And the scouts have to tank against the boar.
Dear God. He's going to get it up, but this is just really scrappy. The healing on these scouts is just absurd. Honest to God, I want to pull the plug on this game just for like competitive integrity. I mean, like, B let him have it, right? But
the boar's still killing him.
Dear God, will you just stop this poor man?
Pumbaa's on a rampage.
Make Lion King free.
The Vil. This boar is going insane.
God.
It's full HP still. I don't think he has enough to kill it. Okay, now he pulls the Vils. Okay, Beasty backs off for a second, giving B that time he needed. Beasty couldn't stay under the TC fire, but jeez, Pumbaa just went on a rampage. Look how low everything is over there. Oh my gosh. Meanwhile, off the back of this, what's Beasty doing? Macroing. Macro. And Prof Scouts is in, so he can use those scouts now.
I mean, yeah, but he's like not going to get the deer patch. So this was so the fact that he went for pro scouts before like B had set up that TC is awkward for him because at this point, like you're still going to get some value, there's still deer stats to get, but you're not stealing something away from your opponent, which is one of the big edges. B is going to get to have his game. That doesn't mean that Malians aren't going to have this stupid timing, though. The timing we've seen time and time again, right? Cavalry into an archer transition. Like, this is the type of comp that can even beat down a civ like the Roost that inherently are very good at building into archer, to counter archers.
Damn.
Is he going to...
I still got to say...
snake this.
I think he's going to yoink. I think he's going to yoink around the back.
Disgusting. That Kremlin doesn't have any... Great reaction by B.
He sees it. I mean, the Kremlin has really good line of sight. So Scout goes down, and you know, all this time, Beasty's like searching for this. He's not actually prof scouting at home.
Well, he's got food to guard him for the moment. Like, this is what it comes back to. Like I said, he doesn't need the deer himself. He needs B to not have it.
Does he try to dive here with two? I don't know. Like, there's not really anything to do.
Like it's gonna sound weird, but like Beasty might need to just get under mesh or choose to go Castle Age. I think those are the two choices. Like
it looks like Castle.
Yeah. Like the only way this works, like if you go the dive, is if you have under mesh because the arrow fire is just too much of a sting, especially the Kremlin because it has the castle turrets, right? The +2 damage per garrison.
As we see though, Beasty nearing that castle click.
Meanwhile, B is kind of stuck in this awkward. I'll build one of everything. Like he's the fat kid who goes into the gelato store and samples everything. All right, we've got a archery range, we've got barracks, we've got stables. What we might not have though is a hope in hell of dealing with the Malian scourge because Castle Age is like a minute away.
Yeah, and that's gonna be terrifying, especially because Beasty behind this. Oh, yoink!
He got him
yoink!
Finally. If he just drops them here, it's worth, actually. Like, he legit could just leave them. Yeah. What a reasonable unit. Did you by any chance make this civ, Winston?
No.
Yep,
No,
good,
nothing.
good.
I didn't. No.
No bueno. I can't tell you more than that,
anything.
but I didn't
do anything. No. The thing I would want to know is, like, behind this Beasty has 2 full pit mines, right? Is his macro set up in a way where he can really easily do a lot of damage with the Farimba here? Because he's rushing it down with 8 Vils. Not super rushing, but like it had more I think before, but I think he
idled his pacing towards Castle Age is what you're looking for there. It's him calibrating though, right? Like that's why he hasn't got that many work in the Farimba, is to make sure he's got enough gold, otherwise this is the stupidity of the regen. He can just switch them out, right? Drop the carcasses, send the other ones in, and pick them up, and then just keep looping like cover fire on the way home.
It doesn't matter that you're like pushing them back because eventually they'll just live forever, right? And they're just gonna go back and grab the deer, right?
Yeah. So B, he's like, oh, you've led me to a treat. This is the one upside he has right now. He can try to burn some houses down, which is going to slow down the timing, but. This is the problem. He's now all in. I don't think you could if you could Castle Age without a significant hit into Beasty's base, you're just throwing the game. Because you can't, right?
I mean, the first wave of archers is here as well. So now the pressure on the gold mine is here, but not with units that are super durable. Vet Archer, I think, is on the way as well. So Beasty going to be in a really comfortable position quite soon. Once he gets that second wave of archers out.
He needs to start looking to set up another pit mine, but we'll be hesitant right now.
Go wheelbarrow!
It's on the way now. Unfortunately, if this raid came 10 seconds later, he would have been fine. So clash under the TC. B doing the best he can. He'll keep doubling down. More horsemen, spearmen, and archers being added in. Even more gremlins looking to make their way across the front line. But make no mistake about it. He has to keep Beasty grabbed by the long and curlies.
Yeah, I mean, B has microed this game very well. Like, super well.
He has to.
He didn't lose any Vils in the opening, which is, like, insane to think about, right?
Wait, Beasty.
The deer!
Does this make me tankier, more meaty, maybe? I don't think that's quite how it works, Beasty.
Well, did he get the vet tech for the warrior scouts? Because they could just jump the archers soon.
No, he
No,
didn't.
he didn't.
He's
That's
just
pretty
showing off
expensive,
his trophies. You know how people that mount like a stag's horns on the wall? He just does it with the whole body. Okay, we're going to leave them there that time. That's probably a good idea. I find flanking attacks are a bit faster when you're not carrying something as heavy as the horse.
There was a nice body block, and he didn't lose any units, right? Or maybe he lost a few, but like nothing critical.
You're making an argument for the Warrior Scouts nerf not being big enough.
Yeah, I mean, you made a good play with it, regardless of the power level of the unit, right? At this point, when they're in game like this, it's really just about how you use the tools you have access to, right? When do you think we see B try and aim for that age up? He's adding that third pit mine already. Jeez.
Like honestly, I don't think he can.
He has to always deal with the archers.
He has to have like a 20 pop lead, which is very hard against Marlies at this stage, especially when you cannot kill any of these guys. Like this is so stupid.
Yeah, he's got Vet Warrior Scout on the way there. You can see the little Tamba to the right of that. Of the icon on the top left, so they pop in very strong now. So they get bonus versus. No, they don't yet, right? Oh,
No.
I'm getting my season 5 mixed up.
I'm just. My brain is dying. These scouts have done.
I mean,
way too much in this game.
B's up 20 vils.
He is. There's like
but the pit mines, I guess. But you know,
he evens out a bit and.
Yoink.
Bye.
Just passing.
Wait, why are we getting wood right now? Oh.
Is he pulling the? Oh no. Oh, he's gonna kill that.
Oh boy. So, Beasty is
Double
condensing. He's not going multi-TC. B is playing Pocket Eco as well. He's reaching that military pop lead I talked about. He's doing like an extra 10. And these relics are complicating the affair right now because it means that BC could switch more people into food, less onto gold, which will allow him to get into sofas. If he ever does that, it's pure chaos for B. Like, that could just block him on a tech up for even longer.
Yeah, no, survival techniques coming in because all that food income is going to be super fast with all the deer now. Like, it's kind of crazy that he was able to get this far without even like really touching his deer under his TC yet. Like, I guess he didn't bring them for a while because he was being busy laming with the scouts, but now we see a lot of archers massed up here, and B still not close enough to the castle age for my liking.
No, and he's got poison arrows on the way. Like, it kind of looks brain dead when you see this, but it's because of the lead that BC's built. It's actually, funnily enough, quite similar to game number 1, where in that game, he could have just built Chuganu and won. Now, he could just mass archers and win. Like, once this poison's there, even this horseman strat is not going to counter.
I don't know, this lead feels a bit precarious to me still, a bit for Beasty. Like, it's still kind of close. How many times did we see Demu today, where he had a 20 vil deficit?
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Hello,
or 20 vil lead.
B.
Okay. I was just like, B, pay attention.
No, that was me just saying B isn't back.
Oh, B.
Yeah. B. But I mean, in my heart, he's trying to make it skip a beat there. That was min-maxing to the maximum.
I don't do that because I'm too slow. I get scared of conversions.
No. It's fine. Like, there's an input inherent in the game, so when that doesn't work for me, I say lag.
Right.
Sorted it.
Yeah, no, every time I lose, I blame lag. Yeah.
That's true. It's lag or bad matchmaking or sucky maps. Bidlin's ears just pricked up.
Honestly, I'm really excited about Region. That's been a great map in this tournament so far. And,
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to seeing it as like people start to figure out a meta. Although it doesn't seem really clear what that will be. Especially with the way that there's no mirrors on the maps, right? This tournament avoids mirrors, right? I think it does.
Yes.
The way that you draft
it,
saves
yeah.
exclusively, yeah.
Because
tries to get the surround.
Archer's going to poke in. Gets
I mean, you can't fight.
I mean, the toxins might even still kill that villager off.
Yeah, the poison is out.
Like, so one weird interaction for me is like, if you start healing, it doesn't immediately remove toxins, which I'm very upset by the way. Like, my immersion's ruined. All right. If he kisses the boo-boo better, why am I still poisoned?
Oh, that's a really annoying raid. B, though, notices right away. Oh, but you just can't fight this. Well,
He has to take this fight right now. And the problem is, like, it's going to burn a lot of his army if he can't stick on top of the archers. The Warrior Scouts are wasting so much time as well. But in
And
the
they're
end,
so cheap here.
I mean, like, I'm just looking at what that cost in each side. Like, he's sniping Knights out right now because of the poison. And he keeps
Yeah,
the
and
distance.
And this is only half of B's army, or
Mm-hmm.
sorry, Beastie's army, right? And this is like everything that B's built up in the feudal age. This is he hasn't gone castle age to take this fight, right? Like he did all of these steps in order to take this fight. And when you look at that, it's like, oh boy, we're in a bit of a pickle, boys. As now B has a decent chunk of units there, but he's gonna get pressured on his second TC.
We've reached that phase as well, by the way. The Sophas are coming in. And he's getting the imported armors. Like, this might just be where B... Like, he probably won't wave the white flag right now because this is match point. But it's like 2% chance to win. And I feel like I'm being generous with that.
Yeah, and there's a dive on the main TC. Oh, boy. And I think there's still a dive on the boar on the south. Or are there still
is there
archers down there? I'm
anyone
not sure.
left there to even work the boar? I feel like most of them are just... Okay, they done well to survive.
They died.
But, like, B, even with the boar, just look at his food. Like, he's exhausted just trying to replace the army. He's now relying on knights. We've already seen that's not going to work. 55 archers. It's always above 50 for Beastie. And now, siege engineering on the way. This should be the nail in the coffin that keeps B locked in.
Ilalu, the Malian king strikes again. He's still down 30 vills, by the way. Like, B still has a 30 vil lead, and he's not able to keep up with this.
I mean, even with the remaining archers over here, like, it's just trading out well because the toxins on the knights.
Yep.
It's a rock and a hard place, man. And B, like, I mean, he could have a 50 villager lead right now.
Oh,
it's still
everybody's dead. Everybody's dead.
It's okay. Like, that's just less raids to worry about, right? Because now that's one less location he can murder you.
This key placement is crazy. Oh man, Beastie's wilding right now as he adds some rams in on the. I don't even know where that is. That's on over by the boar. Okay.
How did he win that? Like he looked outnumbered there. He still has troops. I just can't.
Yeah, he's got full text. He's got all the texts that matter. He's got 4 relics. The 5th one is like right there, right? Like it's right there. He's starting to grab the sacred sites, so 2 now captured for him. So his economy, don't be fooled by that Vil lead. It's really only like 10 or 15, right? With all the income that he has. He has got pit mines, he's got relics, and he's got sacred sites now coming in.
And he has ownership over B's base.
I like how he could just not one-shot these, but then walk away.
Yeah, like, it's okay.
It's so
they'll
funny.
die of poison. Let them have the slow death. Dear God. I mean, that eco lead that we talked about that he was building up is very quickly shriveling. Oh, look, a knight. The counter to archers. Just poison him.
Yeah. BC had to rebuild the keep somewhere else, right? He had to reconsider. He just canceled it. He just didn't even send the vills out.
Now B
He's
is
just gonna
transitioning
ram.
farms, so he has like some longevity to build, but he's still failing to catch up. In fact, if anything, the military pop lead is escalating for Beastie.
Yeah, this is he has to send so many units to deal with these small archer balls, which are just still sitting there, by the way. And meanwhile, here come the real units, the real mass, the real army. Here comes the real army. Ram in tow.
He's just stripping B's ability to play the long game away, right? Because that's like, outside that, where does he access gold? There's nowhere safe. Like, this was the one hope, the one dream he had of getting anywhere.
I love how Beastie built a ram in the south after killing all the vills. Like, he could have just left that there. But no, he wanted to make a point.
Hey, that hunter cabin
This
is
wooden
getting
fortress-
gold, okay? Can't allow that.
It's basically a villager, right?
Exactly. Like, you know, his goal is, like, he understands archer and archery just wins, right? The knights are the only thing that can be somewhat annoying. Even then, it's not working. But it's the one thing that B has hope in. But if he can't access gold, he can't get knights, he can't get a tech up, he can't get anything.
I think he's trying to get gold on the left 8K.
Yeah, he walled himself in, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
BC doesn't know. B is... We can check that out quickly. Like, I mean, there's just more units dying here. It wasn't a cute play by B, but I don't think he's even got that many villages there, so it doesn't feel like he's getting enough income out of it to tech up.
Oh, yeah, 5.
Yeah. So, I guess this is... Like, what's our final series?
Yeah.
Who we got?
It's a bit like that. I mean, B does have 52 units out right now, but he's got no way to like compete. Oh, and that's all because the gremlins have been called into poison archers, which is not their forte
So
by a lot.
third of your army is about to evaporate. He does at least take out the pit mine. I feel like Beasty isn't that phased by the removal of a little bit of gold, though. I think the cheeky git's feeling pretty big.
I think he's feeling fine, yeah. Okay, question.
Mhm.
Do you think anybody else in this tournament tries this? Tries this strategy of not banning Malians? Especially against Beasty? But really against anyone. Like, how many examples are we going to need in this 1v1 tournament before it's just the permaban, right? Like, we saw that in the 2v2 tournament that's wrapping up just now. Like,
Yeah, when does
it
the
just...
when does the patch drop and when does the
What?
when boys we failed to repair? But when does the patch drop is my question. Because if the tournament doesn't end before the patch drops, then maybe. We'll let
I guess
Malian-
that would be a game changer, right? If the season 5 started. But I don't know. As now the archers come in on the wood line again.
Hello, darkness,
Oh,
my old
boy.
friend. I'm
Yeah.
not even sure he wins this fight.
Beasty?
Especially no B. Like with the way that he's moving in as well. Like he's trickling troops to their death, right? Like that. This is just. Panzer,
Yeah.
just leave.
Yeah, the knight's dying feels bad, man. And he's got 2 food in the bank.
B's like,
Beasty has
please,
16.
just get out of my base. Please, just give me a second of reprieve. Beasty,
Yeah.
he says the only way you're getting that is if you're in the lobby.
Oh boy. Oh boy. There's not much to say.
Ilalu,
Ilalu poggers.
don't you ever
Oh my
say those
God.
2 words in the same sentence again.
I just did.
You definitely made
So
this.
he's got all the secret site. He's got all the relics except the one in B's base. Okay? If B was gonna win this, what would his first step be?
Banning Malians and redoing the draft.
That was nuts. That was nuts. Very, very strong stuff from Beasty. Really well played. Although, to be fair, I thought B kind of denied that opening pretty effectively, right? He didn't lose a Vil to the scouts. He lost some idle time, but he didn't lose any of his deer except for 3, right? But that was really late, right? And he had already secured a boar. So he got most of his deer. He got his boar. He got what he needed, right? It was just behind that, BC with a very cost efficient army just went castle. And once he was castle, the floodgates kind of opened. B had this quick opportunity to try and strike and deal damage. We saw that where BC didn't have wheelbarrow, and then it all kind of fell apart from there for B, where it felt like he always had this huge army, but he just could not take cost efficient fights. And alas, B will go down 2-0